Oh my goodness, y'all. The Miami real estate market is shifting in ways that I did not expect, and we're gonna be talking about that in this video. Yes, I'm currently in San Diego. This is not Miami, but we are still talking about Miami. And yes, I am squinting into the sun for you guys so you can have a better view of everything going on here. So Jake Fletcher here with the Fletcher Group at eXp Realty over there in Miami, Florida. I was gonna say right here in Miami, but I'm not in Miami. So I'm over there in Miami most of the time. If you need the best realtor in the land, all my contact info is in the description down below. So things I want to talk to you about today that really kind of surprised me are that the percentage of active listings in Miami, Florida with price drops are way up at a higher point than they've been in the last 4 years. That's right. So currently, the number of active listings that have had price drops is at 4.2%, okay? Now, that's pretty wild because earlier this year, just as recently as about March or April, we were only at 1.4%. Now, if you guys have been watching my channel, you know that the peak of real estate prices was in May. So, it kind of makes sense that right around that time is also when we were at, basically 4-year lows in the percentage of listings that had price cuts. Now, since we've seen, the market has been shifting so much, we've seen the percentage of listings that have price cuts has gone sky high. Now, nationally speaking, 4.2% is not that crazy, but it is definitely significant and something that we want to keep our eyes on if we want to stay in the loop with what's happening, keeping our thumb on the, the current pulse of the market in Miami. Now, another thing I wanted to share with you guys here, in addition to the percentage of listings that had price cuts, is number of new listings is actually at also a 4-year low, other than about March through most of May in 2020, when it was like peak pandemic fear. So right now, other than that little few month period when everybody was wigging out and nobody was listing their homes, we are at a 4-year low of new listings, okay? So, this is something that's going to affect the market in a big way, because in order to start really seeing these price drops and, also, just in general, median sale prices going down on a downward trajectory rather than just kind of stabilizing and going back and forth like they are, we really need to see more inventory coming on the market. So the fact that we're not seeing a lot of new listings, not the best sign, okay, for anyone who wants to see prices go down. If you're not looking to buy anything and you just want your current prices to go up, then, things are solid, things are kind of stabilizing. The more time goes on, the more I wonder if we're even going to see a substantial correction in Miami. Also, pending sales are on the way down, right? This is normal because when there's less listings for sale, there's going to be less listings selling, right? Because there's less supply. I mean, economics 101. Another thing is the actual number of sales is also at a 4-year low, other than the peak pandemic fear period of, around that March to May period of 2020. So actual homes sold, pending homes, number of new listings, all of these things are way down, guys. Also, too, wanted to point out to you guys that at the same time, median sale prices still high, okay? They've done nothing but go up over the recent years. We actually saw a little bit of a decline. The peak, like I said, was back in May, and that was about $495,000 median sale price. We hit a trough in mid-August of 455. So from 495 to 455, we covered that on the channel. We went back up in September to about 483. Now it's looking like in October, things are going down just slightly to about 481. So we'll be keeping an eye on that, see how it goes. But I mean, we've seen about 47% increase in property values in the last 2 years, okay? So not year over year, but in the last 2 years, in what I call people are calling the pandemic era, in what has been the pandemic era, we've seen about a 47% increase in property values in Miami-Dade in that time. So, I mean, that's just wild, y'all. And then another thing I wanted to mention to you guys here is that it is definitely beginning to start to be the time when you can get prices, you can get a home under contract for less than the list price a lot easier than you were able to. What do I mean by that? So the average sale to list price ratio, meaning what they listed the house at versus what it actually sold at. we were at a point in time earlier this year, right before and right around that May period that I've been speaking about, where we were basically at like 99, almost 100% sale price to list price ratio. Now we're clocking in right around 96.5. So still pretty close to list price, but nowhere near what it was at just a few months ago. And you know, the trajectory of that line is looking pretty downwards, but it's kind of stabilized, not stabilized, but it's been less of a drastic decrease in the last month or so, because really, like I said at the beginning of the video, we just haven't been seeing enough inventory coming on the market, okay? So if you are a seller right now, what does this mean? What does it mean if you're a buyer? What does it mean if you're an investor? If you're a seller, you did miss the peak of the market. However, you're still in, I mean, pretty historically high prices, right? So if you do need to sell, right now is still a good time. I mean, there's less buyers, there's less demand. You know, buyers have lost a lot of purchasing power, so it's really important that you price your property correctly, because you're gonna get the most exposure in the first 2 weeks. So if you're overpriced in those first 2 weeks, it's always really hard to get people to come back and see a home, okay? So keep that in mind. If you're a buyer, it's time to go start getting some deals, y'all. Like, hit me up. Let's start shopping. Let's go. You know, I've been helping people get things under list price routinely lately. You know, 96%, 95%, even had one that went 94% below, you know, list price to sale price ratio. So, you know, it's happening, you know. I mean, it's not like the prices that they're listing at are drastically low, but when you look at the graph of the prices that are actually, you know, what they're selling at, you see that there's a pretty big disparity between what people are trying to list for and what they're actually ended up selling for a lot of times. That's where that 96.5% list price to sale price ratio comes in. So if you're a buyer, you know, and if you can afford, you know, to buy in the rates right now, it's a good time to try and go get a deal, you know. Could there be a better time in the future? Maybe, I don't know, but we don't have a crystal ball, right? What we do have is opportunities to buy real estate and build wealth. So let's take advantage of that. If you're an investor, very similar, it's time to go get deals. Hope you got your war chest ready. Let's get to work. Let's find some properties that are gonna cash flow, and let's go write some aggressive offers. It's fun, I love it. So yeah, that's about it, guys. I'm gonna go enjoy San Diego. A friend of mine's getting married, so that's cool. Shout out to everybody who watches all my videos. I appreciate you guys. Always love when I get a text message or you know, a Calendly confirmation. You know, somebody booking a call with me on my Calendly. You know, texting me or calling me, seeking real estate advice. You know, it always warms my heart because it lets me know that these videos are helping people. So Jake Fletcher here with the Fletcher Group at eXp Realty over there in Miami, Florida. I don't even know if I'm pointing east. I think it's that way. But yeah, I'm here for you guys. All my contact info is in the description down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.